Hey guys, welcome back to God of War, and the animation it contains, which is so good. Even still, I'm still kind of transfixed just watching these weapons swing around, honestly. Like, the beautiful arcs these weapons go through that just look so smooth and clean, and man, that's cool looking. This must have been so tricky. PS2 era stuff, like, I'm very curious how they pulled this off. I may have to look this up. Or ask people. I work with some people now who worked on this. Maybe I'll just ask them at work tomorrow. But they can talk about it at length. I should bring some of those people in sometime. Where do I go? I'm actually not sure where to go. Can I swim? I can swim. Cool. So we've been looking at Kratos' character animation in these, and so even the way he swims, not super graceful. It's just kind of getting from A to B. His hands kind of look a little funny there, like they're not really... They're kind of flapping around on the outside of the ropes there, but that's really nitpicky. But even look at this, like, they've got it built into where whichever direction you start going, he starts looking in that direction. If I've learned anything from animating in games for the last 2 years, and I feel like I've still barely learned anything, there's still so much left to learn. Animation for games is really complicated, because especially once you get into the in-game animation stuff, the systems for how these animations play and when and how they blend into each other, and the sheer number of pieces you need to all fit together to make it just have a character who runs around and does what you expect and have all those animations blend together is staggeringly complex. And it can sometimes even be hard, like, if the system's been built well enough, it can sometimes be really hard to find the seams. And oops. Okay, well, it can sometimes be really hard to find the seams even and, like, pinpoint exactly what they're doing. Even people who are really experienced with games animation can sometimes take a really long time trying to just watch animation in a new game and pick apart how on earth the devs actually did that. Easy, Kratos. Easy. Steady. Easy. Okay. Oh, come on. That's... Alright, I'll be back in a second when I've gotten over this stupid thing. Yay, I did it. Okay, we're back. Sorry. I do not remember what I was talking about. Oh, cutscene.
It's you! The visions, they were real! The gods came to me, told me their champion would come and rescue us from the Hydra. But you're too late! We're pinned down! Oh, these creatures, they came from nowhere. The ships are all destroyed. All hope is lost, Spartan. Even for you.
So they're very efficient, even in a story sense, of communicating who Kratos is, what he's about. Or just rather, what things he cares not at all about. Which is to say, any of these people. Those who have played God of War and gotten further in the game have seen to what extent that is true. But yeah, I think a lot of people, and even myself to an extent, sometimes don't realize just how many moving parts are involved in building out the animations, just even for one character, for everything that they have to do. Because even just to get a character to do the one thing often involves a lot of different animations playing and working together. Like, okay, let's just look at what Kratos is doing here. He's standing here. And here he's walking. So, like, standing there, that's one animation. This walking loop here, that is another animation. This running loop is another animation, and they needs to be able to effectively blend from starting to walk to running faster, to back to walking to running a little faster. That itself is already a lot of work. But then, like, if you suddenly stop running, they need a quick transition blend to get back to standing there. And they need these transitions between almost every animation that there is, like, that can go from one to the next. He should be able to be running, and then suddenly roll, and then recover, and then get back to standing, and then start running again. And this is just for running around. This isn't even to say, like, attack or jump, or climb, or double jump, or do any of these other things. Like every additional thing you design the character to be able to do usually involves a whole lot of animations. And making those animations feel organic, and making them feel correct and blend correctly from one to the next without feeling weird and gamey and just like they're popping from one to the next as you tell them to do something else. Making it actually feel like a smooth motion is really hard to do. It involves a lot of work and a lot of complex like building of the system.
Find the key! Find the key!
Will do. Where is the key? So even this whole system, just this whole climbing and combat system, involves a whole lot of different animations. I mean, obviously none of the standing or walking or running or any of those other like animations still apply, even the attack animations when you're on the ground. So this different state of being for Kratos involves a whole new collection of animations. Climbing left, climbing down, climbing up, and they'll blend together a little bit as you start kind of climbing in sort of circles here. But then there are attacks, attack right, attack left, attack up, attack down, heavy attack, up, right, left, down, and some of those may chain together. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just they play the same animation. Still, that's like, what? Like there's like a dozen animations just for the times when he's climbing. There will be animations also for when he's hit, like so. And or being hit from either side and recovering and getting back and getting a grip back on the ropes. Animation in games is complicated. I'm still honestly wrapping my head around a lot of it myself. It's kind of why I'm doing this series. I'm hoping this series is going to help me see and study animation in more games, but also be able to, in trying to explain it and describe it and point things out for you guys, help me to develop my eye for picking these things out myself. So I hope it is as fun for you as it is for me. Can I grab? I can grab. What can you do from grabbing? A very Kratos action. Like if any tutorial level has ever communicated just within 15 or 20 minutes immediately what is going to be awesome about the game, it's this one. Because everything they show off here, from just the very basics of the combat, to these early boss battles, to the little quick-time events featured in them,
Lord
to the cool mythology.
Kratos, before you reach Athens, there is a task you must complete. This beast, this Hydra, it has terrorized my seas for far too long. Your skills are admirable, but you will need assistance. You will need the power of the gods. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power and use it to defeat your enemies.
I think the way that I'm going to do these series, by the way, because I'm not always going to come in with something specific prepared that I'm aiming to talk about, I'm probably going to play until I feel like I've run out of things to say about the animation in the game, and then I'll probably move on to a different game. But if there's ever a particular game you guys are really enjoying hearing about and wanting me to play further in, please let me know.
No, God! We'll never get out of here! Doomed! We're doomed! We're all... Poseidon, save me.
Look at that. This boss fight does such an amazing job of setting the tone for this game. And notice again, in the boss attack animations, how long of an anticipation there is before each of their attacks to let you know what's coming. Like, okay, bad example. Oop. Take that. I guess it's actually going to be coming up in a second, but let's talk a little bit about QuickTime events. So, God of War is still, I think, one of the best implementations of the QuickTime event in the action fighting genre that I've ever seen. I know that QuickTime events kind of fell out of favor for a while, especially after so many other games attempted to imitate what God of War did so well, and didn't do a very good job of it, and we had a lot of lackluster, frustrating, irritating QuickTime event games. But I still think God of War does it really well, and I think it's the QuickTime events are what make the boss battles in God of War look and feel so memorable. Because those attacks. Something I love about I'm actually going to stop attacking for a second just so we can get a look at this. Look how fast those boss attacks come. Normally, or in a lot of scenarios, if a boss attacked that quickly, it would be really frustrating because you wouldn't have enough time to react. But notice how long of an anticipation moment there is right before that attack. Notice how like the boss reels back, like, roars. Okay, I'm getting, stop. Show the thing. No, not that again, sure. Do the attack. The other attack. Come on. Hit me, I'm over here. You're the worst. Fine, don't cooperate. Here it comes. See, long anticipation as he kind of leans his head back a little bit, sort of rocks his head a little, sways, and then BAM! Super fast attack, but you saw that animation beforehand, so you know it was coming. And it's a long, like, the attack, the anticipation beforehand is extra long because that attack comes so fast, because it has to give you that extra time to react. Sorry, I was talking about QuickTime events and then I got distracted. The benefit to QuickTime events is that it allows you to play combat and attack animations, specific ones for a boss fight that you couldn't just have built in as standard attacks. That you can't just... The sort of QuickTime event attacks that Kratos is going to do to this thing could not function as just regular attack button attacks in the game, because they're too specific. They're too specific to this boss. And so what they do instead is they create contextual attacks, the QuickTime event attacks, and they sync them up to specific attack buttons that you press in time with a little cutscene sort of event. And it, I think, completely works. It makes these boss fights huge set pieces. Like, here we go. This specific sort of motion, hooking his face and trying to yank him in on the mast, that's really specific and interesting and memorable and cool, but it's not something you're going to be able to do in most situations, so it's an ideal scenario for a QuickTime event style thing. The best QuickTime event moments in God of War, I still think, are some of my favorites, my favorite parts of all of these games. Because these are largely games about set pieces. You're just eagerly anticipating getting to the next huge, amazing-looking boss battle. And these QuickTime events totally make that. Go in QuickTime. Go in QuickTime event. Yes! Let's do this! See, look at this. See, I would much rather... Wow. See, what an end to a fight. I would so much rather have a big, crazy, epic finish to a fight like that than just hitting him one last time, his health going down to 0 and him falling down dead, or cutting to just a cutscene where I put the controller down and Kratos finishes the beast off. Like, getting to actually participate in that last cool moment, to me, feels awesome. And now that we've had that awesome boss fight, we get one more moment to really, just in case you still had your doubts about what kind of person Kratos is. And thus begins One of the funniest running jokes across an entire series of games. I don't know, to me. I like it.
Thank you! Thank the gods you came back for me!
I didn't come back for you.
No!
What a douche. Just wonderfully horrible, wretched, evil character. Alright, let's finish out this tutorial. I'll finish the tutorial out and then we'll call it an episode. And then I'll maybe call it for the series too. Maybe I'll move on to something else. Unless you really want to see more God of War. And I wouldn't blame you. It's a cool looking game. See, this cutscene here is telling us a lot about his brutality as a character, but everything that the game is showing us now about how brutal he is and how bloody things are, we already know, because the gameplay animation already told us.
Slaughtered like animals, the victims lay before him, a reminder of his own past, a past he could never escape. His only son.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time, probably with something different, maybe with more of this, we'll see. Alright, see you then.